Welcome to the Call Guys podcast, co-hosted by Kevin Hopp and Ronan Passar. This podcast is all about sales development and the art and science of building high-performing outbound sales teams. Tune in weekly to hear live cold calls and also to hear Kevin and Ronan interview some of the top names in sales development. Let's dive right into this week's episode and see what we can learn. This episode is brought to you by Connect and Sell, your live conversation weapon. Teams that use Connect and Sell average 5 to 10 times more live conversations every day with their prospects. As a cold calling consultant, I've used every platform out there, and simply put, Connect and Sell is the Cadillac of the sales acceleration space. If you haven't tried it out, your team can try it for free by clicking the link in the show notes below.
So I somehow turned that around from I don't want to take your cold call to a meeting booked.
Let's go, baby!
By not. But the problem is it's kind of a problem. He told me that he's strictly outbound and that he's not the buyer for this. But we have outbound use cases that are fantastic. And even though he told me he's not the buyer, he's like the business user, and our main sales process is to break in that way. And then he's like, oh, this is sick. And then he makes the intro to the right person. So I personally think that it's fine, and I'm going to take the meeting because historically that's been our sales motion. And although I prefer to go in for the director of marketing off the bat, it's nice to have somebody in my corner, like a coach at least.
Totally, sure.
Easy to reach.
Good question for you here from Todd.
Yeah, that is a good question.
If your product is contingent on the use of HubSpot for CRM, why not ask that up front?
That could be your transition question. Like after your opener, you could go into, hey, quick question for you before I do my whole dog and pony show. You guys HubSpot users? My research says you are. Is that still true?
Interesting. That's an interesting way to do it. So the short answer is I forgot to ask. In that case, I ideally should have asked.
Cool.
I would say I found that almost every person I call in tech has HubSpot, at least for marketing automation, if it's not their main CRM. And so the odds are that he does. I probably should follow up and double check before the meeting. Regarding your proposition, Ronan, it's interesting. I personally
transition into, because what we do in boot camp when we do script writing is we say to people, if you have a precursor like that where you need them to use HubSpot, just build that in between your opener and then your next question that you're going to ask. And it can sound like, hey, Andrew. Hey, Andrew, Ronan Passar here. Hey, look, I know no one likes getting a cold call, especially not a Tuesday afternoon. I can keep it super brief, and then you can decide if you want to hang up on me. Is that fair? Yeah, happy to do that. All right, cool. I'll shoot one over to you. Take care. I don't understand what he said. He thought I was Border Patrol. He's like, I got someone in my office right now, and I thought you were Border Patrol. I'm like, did I not clean?
I'm curious to know more about that opener you're saying. Just go, boom, hey, are you in HubSpot, by the way? A quick before I give you the whole.
Yeah, for anyone who wants it, the script's on my profile. You can just grab it from there. I turned it into a script builder. So basically... let me open it up for you real quick. You go right in from your opener, whatever your opener is, into this thing that is a transition question and a prequal question at the same time. And so the transition question is asking them, hey, before I do my whole spiel, before I do my whole dog and pony show, the research that I did says you might be a HubSpot user. Just want to check here. Is that still the case?
What's the benefit of that? What is the cost and / benefit of doing that before the pitch versus after having them hooked in?
Getting them. It just saves you time. If they say no, and if you do absolutely no work with folks who don't use HubSpot, you need them to use HubSpot, then throw it in there. If it doesn't matter, then don't throw it in there. It's only when it's an absolute prerequisite that you want to filter out those people faster.
Part of the challenge is that actually. Sorry, I just forgot something that's kind of crucial to this. This whole thing, which is that I use Clay. We basically scraped it. We have a list of 80,000 sites using HubSpot, or at least the scripts on their site. And I then use Clay to enrich that data with the right people. And so all of these people theoretically are using HubSpot already.
Okay.
which is part of it. I'm
Okay.
actually getting a phone call from a friend of mine who is helping set up this wedding that I'm going to tonight. So is it cool if I tap out for like 30 seconds to take this real quick and then come back?
And while you do that, go ahead, tap out. I'll share for the audience here kind of what I was talking about so that folks can actually see it, because I think this might be interesting. People ask me all the time, like, oh, what do you mean? So here, Kevin and I actually put this on paper for you. So essentially, and Kevin, I think you have to let me put the screen share up. But essentially what people, here it is. We broke down the script into these 5 steps. Really, there's 4 steps. And number 2 is essentially the thing that I'm talking about right now. The goal of your opener is to get permission to keep going. But this is what I was talking about with Jacob just now, that transition question. You only need this if you have an absolute requirement. You have to be a Salesforce user. You have to be a HubSpot user. The way to ask it is just like this. Hey, thanks so much for that. Before we dive in, you switch this from have you heard of my company to my research says you might be a HubSpot user. Just want to check, is that still the case? And then from there, you can go into the probing question to see if they have the business problem that you solve for, the provocative question to see if they have any need for the valuable solution you offer, and then you close. But the goal essentially of this is to save yourself some time and do the pre-qual up front. And that's exactly what we do in boot camp as well. But Kev, what do you think about that?
Yeah, I mean that's what we teach in boot camp. If there's a pre-qualification thing, getting that out of the way as soon as possible is huge. But Jacob was actually hinting at another way to solve for this, which I'm a huge fan of, which is using process, right? Process. Back to your point, Ronan, about if you had to chop down a tree, spend 99 hours on sharpening the axe, 1 hour on the chopping. It's the same idea with outbound. A lot of sales leaders tend to think that, hey, you got database with 10 million numbers, rip a list and throw it in there and hit go and buy. And it's just not like that. The more time you put into your process, you will see it net out in your conversion rate. Now, really important point there is it will not affect your pickup rate, right? So Renan and I, we talk about this a lot. Like people say, well, I can't call somebody if I don't know everything about them. I need to know all the research. I got to know where they went to school. I got to know what they like for lunch. I got to know all this stuff about them. I got to do all this research. Unfortunately, doing research or not does not affect your pickup rate. And the pickup rate is the number one confounding variable for the amount of success you can have, right? If you're not having conversations, you can't have the good outcomes. So
Bingo.
And this is where a tool like Connect and Sell comes in super handy. Listen to all these conversations we're having, everybody. This is good lists with good tech. Boom, 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 boom. That's the way you want it.
Okay. May I push back a bit on the process thing?
No, you can't. You have to accept what we say with no question.
Okay.
Yeah, this is our show. Why are you going to push back? But no, go ahead. I love it.
The only
Yeah,
good.
go ahead.
All right. The only I got wrecked by an answer right when I was gonna. I think that your process is important. On the flip side, one thing that I struggle with personally is trying to get too pigeonholed into.
Hello?
Raymond, it's Jacob from ServiceBell. How's it going?
From where?
From ServiceBell, as in ding. This is a cold call. Can I pitch you or no? You want to hang up on me? Okay, that's cool. That's cool. All right. So basically what I'm trying to say is bias towards action, because I will find myself trying to get into this process. It's kind of along the point you were saying of I have to know everything before I call. It's like, not really. You can just, I don't know anything about the research that I do. Well, here's really the key. The list.
Hey, Michael. Michael, it's Ronan Pessar with the Call Guys. How have you been? Yeah, it's Ronan. Hey, look, I know nobody likes getting a cold call, Michael, especially not on a Tuesday afternoon. So I can keep it super brief, and then you can decide if you want to hang up on me. Does that sound fair? Okay, cool. Hey, quick question for you. Before I do my whole dog and pony show, I want to make sure I'm even barking up the right tree here. Does your team deploy cold calling as part of your outbound strategy for new business? What's that? Oh, well, that is not what I sell. I was actually calling to see if you have any interest in cold call training, just like I'm doing right now for your team, to get your team to book a meeting a day from the phones. Totally, yeah. There's a math to sales. You're hitting it on the head, right? Like if you don't have the high enough average contract value, it's just not worth the calls. But so if I'm hearing you correctly, having conversations like this in real time with your ideal prospect is not of value to your org. Not working. You're talking about emails or calls? The response is less and less. Oh, okay. What's that? Well, I've been cold calling so far for 30 minutes, and you're my 6th conversation today. There is automation that you can build into cold calling too, so that you can have a lot of conversations in a short amount of time. That'd be part of also what I'd be happy to share with you. But look, I don't want to waste your time. If you are not bullish on cold calling, I don't need to bark up this tree at all. But if you have any interest in learning more, would it be insane if we spent 20 or 30 minutes maybe on Thursday or Friday this week to chat further?
Nice.
That's exactly it. Yeah, there's concurrent dialers, which means in parallel they dial up to 10 numbers at the same time, and you're live much quicker. Of course, there's a list strategy that goes into that as well, making sure that you've got enough phone numbers going into it. And then there's an approach with a power dialer where it goes one after the next. But that you really have to make sure you've got direct dials and pre-validated cell phone numbers. But again, that was sort of the reason for my call, to find time where we could discuss this when I'm not cold calling you out of the blue here. But I don't want to bully you into anything here. So what do you think? A deck? I can send you a deck. Can I be super transparent with you? I've been doing this for 8 years, and
Nice.
anytime I send an email or a deck over to someone, I still have yet to hear back from anyone. So would it be really insane if we found 30 minutes on Thursday, perhaps at noon? Yeah, well, my name is Ronan Passar. I just sent you a connect request on LinkedIn. As of today, it looks like LinkedIn just recognized me as a top cold calling voice, which is cool. Didn't know they were doing that. But yeah, check out my profile. I drop recordings for the calls that I make so that you can see examples of like what your team could sound like. I have free content on there, like script builders and such. But essentially what I do is I'm a cold call trainer. So I take teams and in a month I transform them into cold call ninjas. So they're booking at least a meeting a day. And depending on your average contract value, they're able to generate massive amounts of pipeline from the phones in conjunction with your email and social strategy, not in isolation. Oh. I see. Okay, so DG is no longer something you're focusing on. Okay, cool. Interesting. Okay. Well, look, I'm getting the sense that you don't have a whole lot of interest in this, so I'll give you back some time, and thank you so much for taking my call, Michael. Take care, brother. Enjoy your vacation. I was just done with that guy beating around the bush.
Dang.
Sometimes we gotta move it along.
What was that final objection where you asked for time twice, and then all of a sudden you said, "Sounds like you're not interested." What does he keep pushing back on?
He just kept changing his answer. The last one was, "Oh, I don't even focus on that company anymore. I have a new company where we sell flowers." I'm like, dude, what the? Is that serious? But he asked me for a deck. I'm not wasting my time. Are you kidding me? The dude's gonna ignore that email. Anyone who says email me, send me something, hit them with this response. Yeah, I'm happy to send you something, but like I've been doing this for a while.
Yeah, Jacob from ServiceBell, how's it going? Thanks for calling me back.
Hey, no problem. I'm sorry, who is this?
Jacob from ServiceBell, how's it going? Should I unmute or no? I totally hear. Yeah, my voicemail. I mentioned I think I was cold calling. I'm not sure if you heard that or not. I was supposed to. I want to let you know before so you didn't get wrecked by a call back and it's a cold call. But I think I can help you make more sales. So let me pitch you. Then that'd be great. Oh no? Well, that's not me. I figured being in a call company to be open to a cold call, especially being a salesperson. Yeah. So here we are. For sure. So if you're into calling, I think you'll like this. I see you already have this phone number on your site, so I imagine you're
Conversational.
taking inbound calls. But essentially, what I can do for you is I can let you know when a prospect is on your site, and then you can actually video call them on the website. It's kind of like Drift, which you already have, which I imagine is not getting you that many good leads because it's Drift. And I found that they don't actually produce real opportunities. This is like Drift on steroids. You get an actual video conversation going at the perfect time. So just curious how you're handling the inbound calls now with Drift, with this phone number on your site. Is it a priority for you? Like, what's going on in your world over here, Gina? None. What? No way. Wow. Wow. More traffic to this site. Man. So you don't think you're getting much inbound at all then? Well, I can't help you take no inbound and turn it into more inbound. You got to have for inbound first before I can do that for you. That sounds like a tough problem. That sounds tough. So, right. I hear.
He's on a roll.
Right, I hear. Well, it does sound a bit early. I think that there's an outbound use case here, but it sounds like it's not really a priority. I'm going to save you the time. You're really friendly though, and as a cold caller, you know how it goes when someone sucks. So thanks for not sucking. I really appreciate it. You're awesome. Keep rocking on, and I hope that you book a lot of meetings this quarter. Awesome.
Oh my God, Kevin, we've got to have Jacob back on every week. He's a riot. Yo, let's hear in the comments if you want to hear Jacob back on the show. What an absolute legend.
I'm just I mean, I don't know what to tell you.
Jacob, you've got all the right amount of chutzpah, shameless audacity. You just kind of put it out there and say it like it is.
I don't know what to say, dude. I just, yeah.
That's awesome.
Ben, Jacob from ServiceBell, how's it going?
Another one.
Ben? Oh, dude. Can you hear me now? Yeah. Wow, I have my headphones muted. That was like the worst way to start a cold call. Yeah, I'm Jacob from ServiceBell, as in ding. And as you can tell, I'm cold calling you. You want to hang up on me or you want to roll the dice?
Ding.
What a hook. I sense some sarcasm in your voice.
What a hook.
No?
Oh my God.
Oh, great. I actually did not mean to have you muted off the bat, but that was not planned. I actually had myself muted for some reason. So that was kind of organic, but Another one? Oh, the other one is I'm actually, well, if you heard that, I might as well just come clean. I'm on a live cold calling show right now. They can't hear you, but they can hear me. And you just heard one of the commentators through the phone. Like, he's going down, 4th-yard line. He's going to score. It's like, that's kind of what's going on right now, but for cold calling. So if you want to give me a touchdown, let me pitch you and we'll see where this goes. Hail Mary time, baby. Word. Okay, great. So the reason I'm calling you is that I can't believe that worked. Sorry. So basically, I sell this product called ServiceBell, which notifies you when one of your open deals, target accounts, any high value customers, let's say on your pricing page, right? You can call them, chat with them, live call, video call even on the website and catch them at the perfect time. And considering you have, it looks like decent deal sizes above 3,000 a year on the pricing page and above, I feel like getting people into live conversations on this page would be very valuable for you. So just curious to know how you handle inbound leads right now. Oh, you're using Qualify already?
Where's he going?
Interesting. Yeah, I did not realize that doesn't look like, so I'm very familiar. I should have known. I think I wasn't used to the color scheme for some reason. I'm very usually good at spying this out. Wow, dude, I'm really sorry for pitching you when you have this is like our biggest competitor. We're basically qualified except half the price and for HubSpot. That's the best way I would put it.
Talk about a hard pitch.
So yeah, dude. Well, I guess my Hail Mary did not convert on 4th down, so I'm gonna have to hand this title over to their team. But you were a good opponent. I appreciate it, and thanks for letting me throw the ball, man. I feel like I fumbled, honestly. I fumbled on 4th down.
4th and goal.
Please give me a suggestion. I'm open to feedback. Half the. Interesting. I just figured you wouldn't want to buy if you already have qualified, but yeah, if you're open to it, I could tell you more about ServiceBell. Save some money? I hear. Okay, well, wow, that pitch was new, but I guess it works. I should use it more often. Cool, man. Well, okay. Oof. Okay. Mm-hmm.
90 days prior to renewal is when we evaluate renewal.
Okay.
We have HubSpot, so that's helpful.
Right.
However, we're pretty happy with qualified.
Mm-hmm.
But in 2023 in startup land, cash is king.
Oh yeah.
Always looking to, and I know that tools like this are easily plug and play.
For sure.
We have a lot of journeys that are built in qualified.
So
that's pretty.
Okay.
So that might be the biggest one.
For sure. So one thing that we're doing right now that you might like is, I know we're buying out drift contracts. I don't know for sure if we're buying out qualified contracts, but potentially we would do that for you. And we have an ex-drift customer success rep who will port you over for, as part of your onboarding, all of the automations. And I know, it's drift, not qualified, but again, they're very similar. So we could help you financially and operationally transfer. And if you're thinking about saving money, then I think we have feature parity for less of a price. So you mentioned that you're evaluating new options, and I guess that would be 3 months before February. So what, November, roughly?
Yeah, roughly.
Do you think it makes sense to set up an intro conversation before then, just to have it on your radar before your evaluation period?
No, because it's like 5 months away.
I hear. So then maybe doing it around November time. Okay, can I get you in for, it's a placeholder. I know it's ridiculously far away. I'm guessing you have nothing planned or nothing major planned on any of these days because it's so far out. I could be wrong. But if I were to shoot you like something first week of November, or if you want to go crazy, you could do 3rd week of November because that's my birthday week. Not that that's a big deal or anything, but how about Wednesday the 22nd, birthday present? You show up to the meeting.
I think that's When is Thanksgiving? It's like Thanksgiving week, isn't it?
Oh yeah, Thanksgiving's on Friday. Wow, dude, I'm a little out of touch with federal holidays. My bad. A week before then, early birthday present. What do you think?
In November?
Yeah.
Yeah, sure.
Okay, great. What's your email?
I do my number, by the way.
Your number? Have you heard of Clay?
No.
Dude, do you do any outbound stuff?
I think, yeah.
Okay, you gotta check out Clay. They're a sick product. The way that I got your information is I scraped 80,000 sites. Well, I have a list of 80,000 sites that have HubSpot script installed. I then took that list of websites and I found all of the right people in the org by enriching with LinkedIn data and employee count data. And then you can actually, once you have those prospects in a table, you can use like 6 different data providers, and then whoever has the mobile phone number at the highest accuracy is the one you get. And they buy the data in bulk ahead of time, so you end up paying less for your data than you would going straight to the customer. And I know you're thinking, wow, dude, are you selling me Clay or ServiceBell? The answer is both, because I get commissions on it if you sign up. But it is a really good product, and it really solves a huge problem with prospecting. So even if you don't check out ServiceBell right now, I'll send you a link for Clay, and you can check it out for your team maybe in the meantime. It's really a solid tool. Cool, dude. So what's your email?
My email is at cypress.com.
Okay, cool. Awesome. BENZ at Cypress. My name is Jacob. Evaluation, qualified. What should I say? Qualified alternative?
Cool, whatever you want.
Cool. Hopefully you remember it. I'm going to connect with you on LinkedIn. I post all the time, and we can stay in touch over there. I won't pitch slap you like I did on the phone. Don't worry. But you can see my stuff, and we can keep in touch. Thanks for being a good prospect, dude. And look, it's not a meeting next week, but you still get one on the board, right? So, oh, man. Cool, Ben. Have a good rest of your week. Good luck this quarter and next quarter. And yeah, I'll speak to you soon.
All right, cheers.
Cheers.
Boom!
Wow.
Jacob! Bravo, Jacob. Bravo. Congratulations. You are officially the highest booking guest on the Call Guys live call show, Hop on Calls. Wow. 2 meetings booked today, one with a competitor. By the way, I just want to call it out. That's a good meeting. That's a good meeting to get a competitor like on the calendar. He knows about you. We'll see how it goes. But
what he said was, I was like, oh, you already have my competitor? Oh, okay. It's not something you want. We're like them, but half the price. So anyway, if you already have them, I'll let you go. And I wasn't even doing like a fake reverse psychology thing.
Yes.
I was like actually about to let him off. And then he was like, well, we are looking to always save money. Cash is king, man. So you're going to hang up on me, but I'm actually think it'd be cool to check it out. We're evaluating in November, new stuff. And I was like, all right, that's fine, I guess, Not like next week, but it's still pipeline.
Dude, fantastic.
You get a few of those.
Unbelievable.
You get a few actual meetings for the next week or two and a cold calling block, and like a few of them actually show up. You never know what can happen. I would always go for it.
Jacob, thank you so much for joining. I can't believe that's our hour, guys. This was super fun. We're going to have Jacob back on. Jacob, where can people find you? Where can they connect with you?
LinkedIn's probably the best place. I also have like a YouTube channel, which is not so active, but lots of content there. And yeah, that's
Hell yeah.
it.
And for anyone wondering, we've got the next boot camp for cold calling rolling out July 5th. Check it out in my profile. Thank you so much for joining. And Kevin, word from our sponsor?
Absolutely. Big shout out to Connect and Sell today, the live conversation weapon that had us talking the whole time. We were talking nonstop. You can too. Check out Connect and Sell. Reach out for a free test drive and stay tuned. 2 weeks from today, we are going to be doing live calling once again. Looking forward to that. Everybody have a great rest of your day. Cheers.
Happy hunting, everyone.